What's going on, Beamer fans? Welcome back to Beamer Review. For today's video, we're going to be going over the 5 things that I dislike about owning a BMW. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, Beamer Review, what we do here is teach you everything there is to know about BMWs. We go over every single feature, hidden tip, trick in the book. So if you want to learn everything there is to know about your BMW, do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel because we put out content every single week. Also, if you all were looking for some BMW key fob covers, the link for those are going to be right down below. Keep in mind, they are going to be for the key fob that looks like this. So if you have one of the newer BMWs that come with this key fob, do yourself a favor, make sure you get some good protection for your BMW key fob because they are not cheap and we are doing shipping all across the United States. So take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and get started. So the 5 things that I dislike about owning a BMW. Now keep in mind that I have had my BMW for about 3 to 4 months as of this point, and there are plenty of things that I love about it. This was probably the greatest car that I've ever owned in my entire life, and I've owned about 6 different brands of cars. So even though this video is going to be about the 5 things that I dislike about owning it, keep in mind that I do absolutely love BMW vehicles. I've driven every single one of them. They all drive amazingly great, and I plan on staying with the brand for a very long time. So for number 1, it is going to be where you're parked. Now I'm actually at a mall right now, and I went the extra mile to just park way in the back. You can see that there's no cars around here and all that. I always make sure that I'm parked in the back because in my previous cars, there have been so many door dings, so many people who are just very careless whenever they're opening the door. And a lot of times it could just happen by accident. Say for example, somebody opens up their door and then that wind will blow your door into your car and leave a nice big dent. So that is one of the things that I dislike about owning a BMW, is the fact that the stress that comes with where you're parked. I always make sure, again, as mentioned, I park all the way in the back, away from all the other vehicles. So that is one of the stress and anxieties that do come with me owning a vehicle like this. And then number 2 is going to have to go with cleaning the vehicle. Now, cleaning the vehicle is going to be another thing, because if you have a vehicle like this that's really special to you, you're going to go the extra mile to make sure you're running it through the car wash, you're doing things to keep it clean, you're parking it in the garage. And then not only that, you're going to have all these cleaning products that are going to be inside your vehicle. So personally speaking, I make sure that my car is clean every single week. I personally will keep all these cleaning products right inside my trunk, and I will go to the car wash, go through a touchless car wash, and make sure that my vehicle is completely clean every single week. And then on top of that, whenever I got my vehicle, I also got things like a ceramic coat done. And then if you're not sure what ceramic coat is, feel free to check out this video. But yes, I did get ceramic coat done for my entire vehicle. It was a good $2,000 option, but it was completely worth it because having that ceramic coat does keep the vehicle nice and clean, and it makes it 10 times more easier to keep it clean whenever you are running it through the wash. Dirt, grime, and everything else just completely slides off, and I would do it again in all my future vehicles. So yeah, ceramic coat was a big deal. But yes, keeping it clean in general. Whenever I walk out and see this car with dirt all over it, I immediately have to make arrangements to take it to the car wash and keep it clean. But whenever I do take it to the car wash and I do run through the wash and apply tire shine and clean the rims and all that, it is in itself a good way to pass time and relax the mind, in my opinion. Going the extra mile trying to plan your vehicle on keeping it clean is going to be number 2. Number 3 is going to be how much I tend to drive the vehicle. Now, granted, I do drive about a good 20,000 miles a year. That in itself is a lot of miles, but what if I told you that I have 2 different cars? I have my BMW M4 here, and then I also have a Honda as my daily car. And even with both vehicles combined, I'm still doing about 20 to 20,000 miles a year. This vehicle I've only had for about 2 or 3 months. It already has 5,000 miles on it. So these vehicles are super fun to have, but they are ones that you feel that you could just drive forever. And even though this vehicle is not a lease, I do catch myself trying to check to make sure that I'm not driving too much every single day, because I am trying to preserve the value of the vehicle so I can go ahead and upgrade to the next one down the road. Now that is going to be quite a controversial topic, because yes, at the same time we should be enjoying our vehicles and not having to worry about the miles, but mentally it is quite tough for me to get past that. I do like to keep my cars very low on miles so that they do hold on to their value, but at the same time I could see myself driving this vehicle probably about 2,000 miles a month just for fun, on the weekends. Number 4 is going to be the amount of people that come up to you and want to strike up a conversation. Now, I don't really mind this as much, but there are going to be some days where I'm just really stressed out and I just want to get my errands done and be on the way. I will say that every single time I go to the gas station, every single time I go through a car wash, there is always going to be a person or two who are going to come up to you and then ask you about your car, especially if you have a really fancy BMW. There are going to be a lot of people who just want to know about the car, who want to check out the inside of the vehicle, see how it looks, and just ask questions about how the experience is with the vehicle. Again, personally speaking, I don't mind this too much, but again, there are a couple days where I just want to be on my way, just go through the car wash and just get all the things done on my to-do list. So yes, whenever you have a BMW or a really fancy one, be prepared. There are going to be people who may come up to you and ask you about the car, how you like it. These are vehicles that so many people aspire to get, which is a great thing. But keep in mind, you may have to make sure your social battery is charged whenever you're owning one of these. Number 5 is going to have to go to the BMW perception that people give you. Now, there's a lot of talk about BMW owners just being really reckless drivers. To be honest, it may come off that way, but the vehicles just drive like go-karts, so that's why it may seem like we're driving quite aggressively, but at the end of the time, we're just really confident with our driving skills, and the BMWs just do a really good job of driving. So BMW perception. Now, when it comes to BMW perception, there's a lot of talk about BMW owners being reckless drivers and all that. To be honest, the vehicles just do a really good job of driving. So some of the driving that you could do with these vehicles just feel like nothing. Things you could do with this vehicle you can't do in any other car. These vehicles are just made to handle really well. So other people who may be on the road think that you're driving really recklessly, but in reality, you're just driving a car that has really good handling and really good performance. So brand perception is going to be one thing. You may get some envious looks. You may get some jealousy looks. A lot of people may not be comfortable with that, but to be honest, you put in the work to own one of these vehicles. You shouldn't really care about what other people think. And at the end of the day, you should be proud that you own one of these vehicles. And keep in mind that if you do get some negative perception about owning these vehicles, it's more of a mindset thing. So the way you got to look at it is that you put in the work to get one of these vehicles. You are where you are because of all the things that you've done. And if other people have a problem with that, then that's going to be on them. Again, as mentioned, it is a mindset thing. If other people want to be jealous or envious that you own a really spectacular vehicle, then you shouldn't really care about what they think because their opinions do not matter. So always keep that in mind if you are wary about that. I know I totally made that seem like it was a really big deal. In reality, it's really not. But I will say that a good 10-15% of the time, you may get those people who are just like, oh, look at that BMW driver. You do your job and you enjoy your vehicle. All right, everyone, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Again, these are the 5 things that I dislike about owning a BMW. Again, they're just really small things. They're not big deals. Many of you think one of the top 5s was going to be about prices and stuff like that. To be honest, BMWs have built a really good reputation of becoming really good, reliable vehicles. So things like repairs and maintenance is not that big of a deal to me anyway. Another really cool thing about BMWs is that if you do get a brand new one, you do get free 3 years of free maintenance for the first 3 years. So that just makes things a lot better. So yes, prices to me is not a big deal. At the end of the day, I enjoy the vehicle and I did my math up front, so I knew exactly what I was going to pay for it when I bought the vehicle and what I'd be paying for it along the way. So as long as you plan ahead, things like prices and all that do not really matter, because if you do have enough cash to own a BMW, you're quite a smart person that knows how to do some pretty good math. So it's not as bad as what people set it out to be. So yes, these are my 5 things that I dislike about owning a BMW. Again, as mentioned, they're really small things. I don't really care about these 5 things. I'm completely fine with owning this vehicle for 10 years if I had to, and I don't plan on going anywhere else anytime soon. If you all had any questions, if you wanted to shoot me some comments right down below letting me know the 5 things that you dislike about owning a BMW or a couple things here and there, feel free to mention that right down below. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Check out the key fob links right down below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all for the next one.